Welcome back to another episode of Varsity Views Inside the Huddle Edition, brought to you by Keon Sports. I'm Jax.
And I'm Darien.
And we are in the first round of the playoffs. We got a great slate of games today. What I would say is maybe some record-breaking performances. But overall, great games all across the board. Even one of the games we previewed last week made the list. So
you said record-breaking?
I mean,
record-breaking?
That's not a fact, but if I had to guess,
it could have been.
It could have been.
It could have been.
And we'll get into that record-breaking performance, in our opinion, in that first game. Coming in with Medina, coming in at number 5. Medina at 7-3, taking on John Marshall at 4-6. First half, I mean, we're just going to do it by halves and a little summary because you couldn't even keep track. First half, Medina QB Danny Stoddard threw 6 touchdowns in the half while getting his team to 63 points. Medina's Jack Wojak, Nathan Angus, Dylan Whitehill, Braden Walker, Hayden Chenevery, Cameron Hathaway, and Sidney Lloyd all cut touchdown passes. Danny Stoddard had 466 yards and 6 touchdowns in the first half. He didn't play in the second half.
Well, let me tell you something. It could have been record-breaking had he had played in the second half. Because throwing 6 touchdowns for almost 500 is crazy. In high school.
In one half.
In a half.
In a playoff game.
Is there a record for a half?
We'd have to do some more research on it, but I should have did it before this. But, I mean, that is
a phenomenal performance.
That is unreal.
I know we talked about him last year and this year, but it's like, look what he's doing.
Yeah, this is why we talk about him.
Why is he not signed?
He led the nation in passing last year, and then first round of the playoffs this year, he does this. But a little more of a summary of the game. John Marshall would kind of stay afloat, if you want to say that. John Marshall's quarterback, Kason DiUlio, threw 3 touchdowns, but he also threw 6 interceptions in the game. So that Medina defense was flying all over the field to help their quarterback get those stats.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, 63 still in the first half. Like, y'all might as well pack it up. We ain't coming back from that, y'all. There's no pep talk that's gonna do this. They came to play, and they came to win.
The John Marshall running back, Anthony Hempstead, also had 84 yards rushing and a touchdown in the game. And John Marshall defensive back, Jalen Ledger, had 2 pick sixes in the game. So just a little summary of the game. Second half, Medina's backup quarterback came in the game. He threw 2 touchdowns. I mean, it was just –
that's onslaught.
It was an unbelievable game by Medina. This is why they're one of the best teams in Division I. They got one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. And, I mean, I wish I could have been there to see it.
Man, you telling me? I would have loved to see that. Like, come on now. Almost 6 TDs in the first half. Thrown to not even to the same person.
Everybody was eating.
Everybody got to eat.
Everybody.
Come on, man. Talk about spreading the wealth, man. They was all hungry. and he was feeding them.
Yeah.
Throwing them plates out.
That's what he does. He does it the best in Ohio, I think. Final of this game was Medina 70, John Marshall 40. Player of the game, none other than Medina QB Danny Stoddard with 463 yards passing and 6 touchdowns, all recorded in the first half. If you'd like to learn more about this amazing performance, see some more of Danny's stats, some more of the other stats in this game, go to KeonSports.com and look for the author Mitchell Bubb, who was able to witness greatness.
Hey, he definitely witnessed something. He witnessed. There's not even a word that hasn't even been invented yet. Coming in at game number 4, we have Defiance versus Bay Village. In the first quarter, we have a 2-yard touchdown from quarterback Brez Zipfeld to tight end Garrick Rodenberger. That's a quick 7-0,
That's how you want to start out if you're Defiance.
Coming in the second quarter, Bay Village running back Brendan Spellman fumbled, picked it up, and then took it for 44 yards for a touchdown to tie the game. Hey, say what you want. You fumble the rock and get it back.
That's good awareness.
Didn't nobody want to dive on the ball? Like I'm trying to see, like, what kind of fumble was this? Like, did it slip out his hands and then he just pick it back? Oh, I dropped it. And took off? Like, did he get touched? Like, I want to know. But, Defiance would come back with it as running back Brogan Castile with an 8-yard touchdown, going up 14-7, and that would be the score at the end of the half. It's a pretty close game.
Hey, playoff football, they're going to be close.
I mean, it's got to be, Defiance came into this playoff 7-3, while Bay Village was 8-2. So, Defiance is still a solid team. Only lost one game more, but it's like they're considered the underdogs in this game. You're expecting Bay Village to win this, and Defiance is up right now, so we got to see how the second half goes.
All right, let's get into it.
Third quarter, the defense from both sides was elite. Then nobody scored in the third quarter. All they had to do was punt the ball away. That's all they were doing. They were just punting the ball
back
away.
and forth and back and forth.
Like, hey, it happens like that, but you love to see good defense, especially while Defiance is up. Like I said, Defiance came in at 7-3. So Defiance is, like I said, the underdogs, and they're playing hardcore defense so far to start this third quarter. Coming into the final quarter of play, the defense would continue to be a battle, but Defiance would eventually run out the clock, and they would actually take the win over Bay Village. The final score of this game would be 14-7. Player of the game would be running back Brogan Castile, who had 138 rushing yards and a touchdown. So, hey.
Defenses were trying their best in that second half. I mean, we got 3 scores in that first half to 0 in the second half.
I mean, the defense, what can you say? Defense was just too good on both sides. And had Bay Village got, some off in the first half again, like another touchdown, we might be seeing overtime.
Oh, yeah.
So, if you guys want to check this out, make sure you guys go to KeonSports.com. Look up the author, William Schneider. He wrote a great article about this. He got to witness some hardcore defense in the second half in a playoff game.
Yeah. Hey, heading into game number 3, we got Rocky River coming in at 9-1 versus Clyde, who was a respectable 5-5. First quarter, Rocky River, first play of the game, an 81-yard screen passing touchdown from QB Julian Patty to Ryan Ricchetti, making it 7-0 Rocky River. Clyde would respond, though, after quarterback Jonathan Lance would get an 8-yard rushing touchdown, making it 7-7. That would end the first quarter with a tie. The second quarter began, and Rocky River wasn't looking back. Rocky River quarterback Julian Patty would get a QB sneak touchdown, making it 14-7, and that would take us to halftime. So Rocky River kind of getting that last-minute touchdown in that half. Hey, you need that. You need everything you get in this playoff atmosphere. Let's see what they can do in the second half.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Clyde got a chip on their shoulder. They're 5-5. They're not expected to win. They got to come out there and do everything they can.
Exactly.
They got to put the pressure on. The pressure's really on Rocky River. So,
hey, and in that third quarter, it was a defensive stalemate. The defenses were making plays everywhere. I'm talking, it was unreal. Another one of these playoff games that we're going into the second half, not a lot of scoring. Not a lot of scoring at all. So we go into the fourth quarter where Rocky River would force a fumble and recover it. Clyde would then get the ball back, and a bad snap led to another fumble in the red zone, and they would turn it over on downs. So Clyde's getting to the red zone. They just can't get that ball in the end zone. They're fumbling the ball. They're kind of hurting themselves. They're really just hurting themselves.
Yeah.
As Clyde would get to the red zone once again, and on 4th and 1, they would be unable to convert, and that would be the ball game as Rocky River escapes this one with a playoff win, 14-7. Player of the game was Rocky River quarterback Julian Patty, who threw for 255 yards and a touchdown. Also had a rushing touchdown. So another one of these 14-7 games, barely escaping. Rocky River better be careful because, Clyde had multiple chances to score. They just kept fumbling the ball. Not every team is going to do that.
Yeah, that's the one you kind of tell yourself, like, we survived.
Yeah, we won,
survived.
but it
like,
was...
We gave them 2-3 chances to score on us, and we were not able to get the ball on the other end for ourselves. So we could have lost this game. So, hey.
Yeah, and if you'd like to learn more about that game, go to KeonSports.com. Look for the author Bryce Holt.
Coming in at game number 2, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. We got action. We got action over here. We got Barberton, who is 6-4, and then we got Shaker Heights, who is 7-3. Now, this game right here, this might be the most interesting game of the 5, in my opinion.
Like I said, we predicted this.
We predicted this.
We knew it would be a game to watch out for.
Absolutely. Coming in the first quarter, we got Barberton, Xavier Macon, who had a 54-yard touchdown. they weren't able to complete the field goal, so they only go up 6-0. Now, in a playoff game, I can already see it. That 1 point could haunt you at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Every point matters. Shaker Heights would respond with a 40-yard touchdown from Trey McNutt, going up 7-6. Now, just like that.
Hey, that 1 point.
It could be a tie game. You know what I'm saying? It could be a tie game in the first quarter, but Shaker's up 1. Now, the second quarter, this is where it gets it gets serious, okay? Barberton's running back, Xavier Macon, 23-yard touchdown. And then Barberton again, Dominic Wilson to Kenny Larry for a 21-yard touchdown. And then Barberton once again, Dominic Wilson would get a 20-yard touchdown. That's a lot of touchdowns immediately.
Hey, Barberton wasn't playing around in that second quarter. They said, we're just going to score again.
Hey, I can tell you what, that 1 point that I talked about in the first quarter, when you score 3 more times, I guess they're not worried about that 1 point no more. However, though, Shaker Heights, Cornell Beard would have a 2-yard touchdown, and then Shaker would once again score again. Like I said that, once again, score again. Yeah, that was play on words right there. Yep, Abdullah Adman would have a 3-yard touchdown to Trey McNutt. Now, this is halftime. Just like that. It's halftime now. Barberton is up 27-21 at half. That was a pretty high scoring first half for both teams.
Mm-hmm.
To go back and forth, that was an eventful second quarter, if I say so myself.
Hey, we've seen the scoring happen in the first half in these playoff games. In the second half, the defenses have come out and responded. Let's see what happens in this one.
I feel like Barberton is getting to it for a team that only won 6 games. This season was, a very respectable 6-4 team. Like, very strong team at that. Shaker Heights 7-3. Like, come on now. Barberton's the underdog, but they're giving it to them as they get into it. That's all I gotta say. They get into it. Coming into the second half, Barberton's Noah DeHart has a 10-yard rushing touchdown, giving his team a 34-21 lead. It is not looking good for Shaker now.
Mm-mm.
That lead is starting to expand. But Shaker will respond with a Cornell Beard 28-yard rushing touchdown, 34-27. They're throwing some haymakers. They getting to it right now.
You score, I'm going to come right back and score.
It looks like Shaker's going to need a stop, though. They can't, keep trading, touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? Barberton, 1 play later, Xavier Macon, 75 yards for a touchdown, 41-27. 75?
Just like we said, they need a stop. They didn't get the stop.
75? You let mans go for 75? All right. Well, it's 41-27 at the end of the third. This is the final quarter of play now. If Shaker wants to, keep their season alive, they're going to have to make something shake now. Well, guess what? Shaker, Caden King, would have a 12-yard rushing touchdown to score. Now, it's 41-35 now. They're feeling good. They got to get another stop here, but unfortunately they don't because Barberton would have a 28-yard touchdown. Come on, man.
Y'all can't stop that Barberton offense.
Y'all can't stop Barberton for some reason. But Shaker will come back as Abdullah Aman to Trey McNutt again for a 40-yard touchdown. It is now 48-41. Shaker needs a stop right now to get the ball back.
Mm-hmm.
But Barberton would just get the ball and they would just run. They would just run get the first downs, and they would run the clock out. And unfortunately, Shaker couldn't do it. Barberton for the win, as the final score would be 48-41. Player of the game was running back Xavier Macon, who had 3 touchdowns.
Hey, that brother is a stud.
3 touchdowns. I mean, Shaker had their chances. It's just that
couldn't pull off a stop when they needed it.
Great offense beats good defense all the time. You feel me? So, hey, if you guys want to read up on this more, make sure you guys go to KeonSports.com. Look for the author Tony Bogan. This was a great game. Like I said, I think this
high
was
scoring.
Yeah, this was probably the most entertaining game of the 5.
Maybe.
You got something that's gonna top this?
Not scoring wise, but I think game wise, you'll see.
Talk to me.
Coming in at game number 1, we have St. Ignatius coming in at 2-8. A rough season for St. Ignatius. You're not used to this at all. Versus Menor at 7-3.
Oh, you ain't lying. 2-8, I would have.
Now, St. Ignatius did lose their great coach, Chuck Kyle. Retired last year, was his last season, so First season with a new coach. Maybe that has something to do with it, but they'll be back. They'll be back.
Oh, absolutely. They're gonna make it back. It's a great program.
But we'll start off. We'll just go with the first half. An abundance of incompletions, great tackling, and penalties plagued this game, as the only score in that first half would be a St. Ignatius 34-yard field goal, making it 3-0. So these teams, as you can see, St. Ignatius has the talent. They just got to get used to each other. They're keeping right up with Menor, who, like I said, came in 7-3, who was a great football team all the time.
Oh, yeah, no, Menor is solid. Like, when I say solid, I mean like they got a squad.
So coming in as the underdogs, which St. Ignatius isn't used to, and being up 3-0 going in half, that's what you like to have.
Absolutely.
In the third quarter, St. Ignatius would block a Menor field goal to keep the score at 3-0 in that third quarter. Heading into the fourth quarter, St. Ignatius quarterback John Papish would find Cody Haddad for a 17-yard touchdown, taking the lead 10-0 over Menor. Menor's got to be a little shocked right now, I think.
Oh, no, it's looking serious. I don't know if they let that 2-8 record go over their head and they came in kind of nonchalant, just thinking like, oh, they 2-8.
Yeah.
And let's be honest. If you're on a 7-3, 8-2, you're a winning team, and you just, bro, they're 2-8.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't about to do nothing, bro. They have nothing to lose. That's because they're 2-8.
Yeah.
Like they gotta play hard.
Menor would respond, though, finally in the fourth quarter with a 46-yard touchdown from Austin Van Huss, making the game 10-7. Menor would be in the Ignatius red zone with limited time left. They would try a game-tying field goal attempt, and it was blocked once again as time expired. No overtime here. St. Ignatius escapes with the upset, 10-7, making that 2-8 record not matter because, hey, we're in the playoffs now. We're 0-0. Everybody's 0-0. Let's go. We're Ignatius. Like, we're used to this.
You ain't never lied.
So the player of the game was St. Ignatius special teams because they recorded 3 blocked field goals in this game. Hey, if they don't block one of those field goals, we're headed to overtime. Who knows what happens? If they don't block 2 of them, they lose the game. They don't block 3 of them, they lose the game. So
yeah.
Shout out to St. Ignatius special teams. And also a shout out to St. Ignatius coach for his first playoff win after a rough regular season since the great Chuck Kyle retired last year. Way to start it off with a playoff win.
Hey, honestly, you could build on momentum from the prior season going into the next season.
Oh, yeah.
So for them to get the playoff win despite them losing so many games this year, which is something we didn't expect them to do, they could build. There's something here.
Mm-hmm.
There's something here for you guys to beat a team that has been solid all year. Come on, man. Y'all got it in y'all, man. Ignatius
and watch out
back.
for Ignatius. This playoffs, they could be dangerous now. Now that they got some momentum, they're getting confidence back. Watch out. Like you said, they got nothing to lose. That'll wrap up our top 5 games of the week. We'll head into the player of the week, and I think everybody knew this.
Man, it's Medina's quarterback, Danny Stoddard, who went for 463 and 6 TDs in just the first half. This man if he could have played the whole game, I ain't going to say you could duplicate what you did, but he could have at least got 700.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They could have let him get that. I would have been like, no, let me get this record breaking.
Hey, let's keep him healthy, though. Need him for every round of the playoffs. Don't want him to get hurt, but
nah, yeah, you're right, though.
Some fluke injury or something, but hey. Shout out Danny Stoddard. We've been saying it all season. Medina's got something special.
Man, somebody sign him. He still hasn't been signed yet. Like,
no, he's got offers, though. I looked it up. He does have offers.
Oh, cool, because it took him long enough. I'm about to say, because every time we talk about him, it's like, bro, he's not committed nowhere. Like, what's going on? Where y'all at?
That Medina QB, Danny Stoddard, Player of the Week. And with that, we'll head into our playoff preview for Week 2 of the playoffs. And let me start this out. Hey. Shout out to the Twinsburg Tigers for beating their arch rival 22-10 in their first playoff appearance in 13 years. Went into Nordonia, beat them by 12 on their home turf. Shout out to the Twinsburg Tigers. I'm looking forward to their next game, see if they can pull off the upset against Riverside.
I know you were so excited when you saw that they got the win.
Hey, it's a huge win for this team.
At least your city won. We'll be back next year. I ain't worried.
So we'll start off in Region 1. We're number 8, Glen Oak, coming in at 7-4 versus number 1, St. Ed's at 9-1. 2 great football teams. St. Ed's number 1 seed taking on Glen Oak. Glen Oak won their first game last week. This is going to be a great game.
I was going to be solid for sure. I'm ready, but You already know who my money's on.
Hey, we're not betting on high school sports here.
You think they gonna make that legal one day? Like, no, that'd be crazy. I can see it though.
Staying in Region 1, we got the 7 seed Berea Mid-Park coming in at 7-4 versus number 2 Cleveland Heights at 10-1. This is going to be a battle. Cleveland Heights has been a heck of a team all year. Berea Mid-Park, hey, let's give it a shot. Let's go. Get up. You got to get up for these games. Let's see what you're made of.
We also got number 6 Medina, who is 7-3, versus Wadsworth, who is ranked 3rd, and they're 9-2. That'll be a solid game as well because, you know, Dan Stoddard probably about to go crazy.
Let's see if he can keep it up against this tough Wadsworth team.
No, Wadsworth is nice. Like,
hey, Twinsburg had to play them in high school. They were always a heck of a team.
But we also got a Region 5 matchup. We got number 8 Barberton, who we just talked about, versus number 1 Hoban, who is 9-1.
Hey, Hoban is a powerhouse.
I hope. See, these schools get busy, man. These schools is solid. I mean,
let's see if Xavier Maker could get 3 more rushing touchdowns, maybe like he did this past week.
Hey, listen, sometimes you're better players when it comes to playoff time. You just need them to be as sharp and as solid and as rested as possible, just like with the whole entire team. You know, it's never just one person. But when it comes to in the playoffs, man, everybody as a whole has to be healthy, has to perform, has to be ready to go. Because, hey, you're only as strong as your weakest link. So everybody got to be locked in.
Hey, you got that right. And like I just said, coming in also in Region 5, we have number 12 Twinsburg at 7-4, taking on number 4 Riverside at 9-2. Hey, Twinsburg is going to be a tough task, but you just went into your arch rivals' home. You beat them 22-10. Give it a shot. Let's go. Beat Riverside. I mean, it's going to be a tough, tall task.
This is your school, man. This is your alma mater, high school. So, like, you think they could pull it off?
I mean, hey, if you can go into Nordonia, beat them, why not? Let's do it, Twinsburg.
You said, why not? You feel like you Russell Westbrook, huh? And in our final game, we have Region 10. We got number 7 Buckeye, who is 9-2, versus number 2 Norton, who is undefeated at 11-0.
Hey, Buckeye, we know, has that high-flying offense. We had them a bunch of times last year. I think we had them for a game or two this year. They got a great offense. Let's see if they can stick it up with that undefeated Norton team.
Hey, that Norton team hasn't seen an L yet.
Nope, they don't know how to lose.
They don't know how to lose, so they got a lot of momentum going into this.
But like I said, they got to deal with that Buckeye offense.
Oh, you ain't playing. That their offense is serious, man. Well, that's all the time we got for you guys. If you guys haven't peeped any of our recent episodes, make sure you guys are watching all the other ones. Like, we're already in this is episode 11 now for this season.
Playoffs, yeah.
Yeah, so if you guys missed all the other recaps of all the other games, make sure you guys go check those out. You guys can search them up on YouTube at Keon Sports on YouTube. Also, check them out on the website. You can literally find our names for Darien and Jack. So you click on those, all of our episodes are there as well. But I've been your host, Darien.
And I'm Jack.
And we're going to catch you on the next one.